Hello all, welcome to DevOps Tricky channel. In this channel, we are mainly discussing on DevOps related content, both conceptual, scenario based and interview based questions as well. So as part of our daily discussions on DevOps, today I come up with one of the important concept and I will cover one sample Docker file for Java and Python applications. So before directly jumping into writing Docker file, so we need to understand the basic view of purpose of Docker file. So Docker file is nothing but it is having a set of instructions for our applications to create the image. So from this Docker file only we are building the image. By running this image we will get container. In our container only our application will run. So these we can written in statements. It have a set of instructions, like there are a couple of instructions from their working directory is there, copy is there, add is there, maintainer is there, and cmd is there, entry point is there, so expose instruction also there. So like this we have a couple of instructions which we are using on docker file to create the image. So it is used to specify where is the application code and what dependencies are required for our application execution. Docker file is required to build Docker image, and these images are we are storing in Docker registry. For some projects they will have their own private repos, or if someone is storing in the cloud, means in the AWS we have ECR. So based on the project, they will have their own individual registries for their Docker images. So for example, there are Harbor repo is there, which is of a private registry. They will store their images in there only. Some projects will use AWS ECR. So when we run this Docker image, Docker container will be created. This container is used to run our application. This is about the overall view of Docker file. So from the Docker file, we are building image, and if we run this image, container will create. So we are pushing this image to registry. This is like existing, right, for storing the images. So we can have, because of this Docker only, we no need to bother about software installations, because Docker will take care all the software installations which are required for our applications. So from this Docker file we build image. If you run this image you will get container. Hope everything clear, right? So this one and this one. So I will write directly one Docker file for the Java based application. Hope you guys have aware on this each instructions. If you don't know about these instructions, do check out my channel where I clearly mentioned differences between cmd and entry point, and in that I also covered remaining keywords instructions as well. So here I'm writing Docker file for Java applications. In 90 among 100 interviews, 95% of interviews in panel members will ask this question. Definitely, did you return any Docker file? If yes, can you please share your screen and write one Docker file for Java application or for Python applications. So make sure you guys have awareness on these things if you didn't work earlier on Docker. So from I am using here from OpenJDK, I will explain what's happening actually. OpenJDK, and then copy from where I'm asking means I have in this the jar file asking to copy under this directory, and then I'm executing entry point for running Java application. I'm asking to start Java to execute to run this jar file which I have copied in the directory, and asking to start the application as well after this app.jar. This is the sample Docker file. If you want to expose your port, then you can mention something. Some suppose it's 1234 like that. That is the port number of your application, but you don't edit it. It's just for reading purpose only. And you can add here one more instruction, maintainer Sirisha, maintainer Siri. So you can mention like that. So you will understand who is the other who written this Docker file. If new person come to our team, then he will understand, okay, this person written this. If you have doubts, you can directly connect with them and sort it out. So here I am asking like, you have this base image Java version of 11. This is the base image, and maintainer is Siri. Now here what you are doing is you are copying the this jar to this path, and here entry point means you are starting Java and running this jar file. Understand, right? In the entry point. In this CMD, what I am doing is application start. Application start. So this is port number. I'm just exposing here for the read purpose. So what program should run when container starts? It will be entry point, and we are starting this application. In the entry point, I'm asking like start Java and run this jar file. After this, all the application will start. This is the basic Docker file for one Java application, right? Hope it was clear. And then if you have more doubts on this CMD and entry point, I have few differences as well. So entry point is like a stubborn. It don't change. It means it don't override. CMD we can override during the runtime. If you are passing Docker run and your image, and if we pass argument as test.jar suppose, then this test jar will be override to the CMD. In respect of this, it will be override to here. So this is about CMD and entry point. In the if you want to add any more thing to the CMD, this CMD will be acts as a argument to this entry point. This is also like one more point. There is common thing about this CMD and the entry point is both are at the container start time only. At the time of container start only, CMD is like a default argument. It will work. We can have multiple CMD commands also, but we will process only last CMD command because CMD is overridden. That's why. But entry point is not able to override. It's fixed. What you write in Docker file, if even if you change also, take only the first command present in Docker file. So this is the small difference between CMD and entry point as well. So I will come up with the next Docker file for Python. So here I'm writing one Docker file. From here I need one basic image, right? I'm asking to install. That's Python. Your version, which version you want to use, that you can use. So here I am writing maintainer is DevOps ticket channel. So here I'm mentioning DevOps ticket channel as the maintainer. Now working directory, I am taking this one. So copy whatever mentioning in requirement.txt to this directory, copying all the dependencies because I'm mentioning all the dependencies under this requirement.txt. I'm asking to copy, and here I'm adding new instruction run pip install hyphen or requirement.txt. So and then after running this, I'm copying all the things to here, and then I'm executing cmd. Python app.py. So this here in this Docker file, we have come up with another new instruction, right? So during the at which time image creation time this run will work during image creation. It is entry point and cmd with during container stat. This is also one difference. Here I am taking Python with the latest version. What you want to do, which version you are using. So this is base image, and here I am setting the working directory. This is the maintainer. Here working directory means I am setting this as the working directory. Here copying all the dependencies which I have mentioned in requirement.txt, and here install dependencies means runs command inside container. In the inside container, it will during the image creation install dependencies. It will install all the required dependencies, and after that I am copying all the things, and during container starting I am running this application. I am starting this application. This is about a Docker file. Hope this session is useful. Definitely comment me if you get this type of Docker file written interview questions in your interview for the DevOps engineer role. Hope a session is useful. So if you guys want this type of more content, do subscribe my channel, that is DevOps Sticky channel, so that you will be notified for the upcoming videos. We'll come up with more videos like this which are useful for your DevOps journey. Thank you everyone.